I first started working with Jeremy back in September of 2024. And the way I stumbled across Jeremy was through his YouTube content, which is where most people find him. And I have admittedly, over the years, never, ever, 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 ever liked any marketing books, courses, like nothing. I was very self-taught. When I found Jeremy's YouTube videos, they spoke to me in a language that resonated with me, simply doing things based off of math and numbers, not just feelings, and financially modeling, marketing and sales out in a spreadsheet, which is exactly how I've always approached things. His lessons were very tactical, hands-on, and applicable. And as soon as I watched a couple of his YouTube videos, I immediately applied to his program. I think I was the easiest deal Leo, his sales rep, ever enrolled, because I had like one question. Even as I was paying, he's like, man, thanks for making that easy for me. Jeremy teaches a lot about marketing, advertising, Facebook ads, landing pages, nurture sequences, sales, all that stuff. However, the thing that I found most impactful and the lesson I found most impactful from him was realizing the only thing that was in the way of my growth was myself. I had a mindset where I was thinking far too small. I'll tell you a story. I think he actually mentioned this story in one of his YouTube videos where he was talking about me when I hit the $1 million a month award. The company had gone from $100,000 a month to $350,000, $400,000 a month. And I got on the call with him and I was like, man, yeah, things are going great. Like this thing's printing. He's like, cool, how much money did you make? I was like, 400K. And he's like, hang on a second. How much money did you make last month? And I was like, 400K. And he's like, wait, so you made the same money this month that you did last month? And I was like, yes, sir. And he's like, Brandon, do you know how to grow this thing? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, say it out loud so that I know that you know how to grow this company. I was like, get more sales reps and fill their calendar. And he's like, cool. What are you going to do today? I was like, I'm going to get a sales rep and fill her calendar. So he's like, cool. Do you have any other questions? I was like, no, sir. So I actually jogged home. I jogged from home to the office, turned on my ads to hire sales reps, and then I hired Tiffany, and then we went to like 500K a month or something like that. And the same thing happened again in October when I was at his mastermind. We had been kind of floating at $500,000, $600,000 a month, and I remember being in Miami, and he gave his talk at his mastermind, and I realized I'd repeated the same behavior, which is I got really comfortable where I was. I thought I was like, yeah, like we're doing really well, like 650, 700K a month. And that the only thing stopping us from growing and making more money was simply myself and not just doing revenue-driven activities. As an extension to that lesson, he actually also reframed my thinking around money. Now, if you're in Australia, you're aware of like tall poppy syndrome in this country. Generally, people don't like seeing other people do well in this country. And making more money is seen as like evil or egotistical or anything like that. He made it very clear that I have a responsibility to make more money. For example, if you are in poverty and your parents get a medical bill, that can cripple you and literally like shave entire years off of their life. However, if you can afford the best medical care, you can take care of people. Like there's a lot of people that I'm very responsible for, like not just like friends and family, but also like we have 1,300 people in the With You program that are relying on me and the team to show them how to generate qualified leads so they can keep the lights on, pay their employees more. By extension, the livelihoods of their employees' families rely on their lead gen doing well. There is a lot of good that can be done from making more money.